didiktv KPM.
Hello pupils, welcome back to class. Today's class is about Bahasa Inggeris and we're learning about high-tech world, but not really much on what's around us, but more focused on our reading skills. Now we have teacher Halimatul here with us to teach us into the details, getting into the details of each paragraphs, referring to textbook close-up page, Form 3, page 110 and 111. Now teacher, it's your floor.
Thank you very much, my beautiful Shafika. All right, guys, I hope you are ready because we are now going to read for details, okay? So normally that would be the standard process after we have read the text. For gist, we are going to read the text for details, okay? And for today's lesson, I'm going to divide the text into paragraphs to be read by individual pupils. And in this particular text, there are 7 short paragraphs. And so everyone, I hope you guys will listen to my instruction. I will show to you what you need to do, right? But first, this is what you need to do. Hashini, you will be reading paragraph 2. Duffy, you'll be reading paragraph 3. Nivila, you'll be doing paragraph 4. And Alicia will be reading paragraph 5. Read only your assigned paragraphs and try to pick up keywords in that particular paragraph to find out what your paragraph is telling you. So you are basically doing a summary of that paragraph, and later when we regroup, you are going to share your understanding of your particular paragraphs so that all of us here and everyone watching will know what the whole text is about.
Right.
So normally this is what I do in my class rather than asking everyone to read every single thing because reading is one of the activity that a lot of pupils find boring. Unless the text is an interesting text like this one. This is quite an interesting text. Okay, any questions from anybody? Are you guys clear on what you need to do?
Good to go?
Okay.
All right.
All right, so I will do the first paragraph with you. Okay, so if you look at your books now on page 110, let's look at the first paragraph. In the novel 1984, which was published in 1949, British author George Orwell wrote about a time in the future when it is impossible to hide from surveillance by the government. In the novel, people are always reminded that the government can see them by the phrase, "Big Brother is watching you." So that's the starting point of this particular text, reading text that we're going to read. Now, what I understand from this paragraph is about a book written by a writer. The book was written in 1949, and the book is telling us about how people in that particular country is being spied on. They're being checked upon by the government, and the writer labels the government as the big brother. So when you have those phrases and words in your idea, you can jot them down if you want to, or you just have a mental note so it gives you an understanding. Oh, paragraph 1 is an opener about us being on surveillance. How? We don't know because it's not mentioned in that paragraph. It's just mentioned that we are going to be watched. By whom? In this paragraph is by the government.
Right.
So, if you look at the next slide, okay, this is my summary, okay, my version of what I understand of paragraph 1, which is, as you can see on the slide, in the future, it is impossible to avoid from being spied on by the government known as Big Brother. That's the particular understanding of that paragraph, paragraph 1. All right, guys, can you see what I want you guys to do now? Yep. Oh,
Okay.
Thank you, Alicia, for that thumbs up. Any questions before I let you all try and come up with your own summary of your paragraphs? Any questions? Nope? Okay, cool.
Right, they're
Yeah,
confident.
see, they are awesome pupils, yes. Okay, off you go. Read only your particular paragraphs, all right? And then if you want, you can jot down notes or write the sentence. But in actual fact, you don't need to, because when you understand what you read, you can have a mental note of what that particular paragraph is telling you about. And you will go back to it later when you want to respond to the questions that come after the reading text. So let's just talk about that for a moment as the pupils at home are reading their particular paragraphs. Okay, now one of the techniques that teachers like to employ and remind pupils before you attack your reading text in your exam, which is part 3 in the exam, look at the questions first before reading the text. All right? Look at the questions first. Obviously, can you answer the question, Shafiqah, without reading the text? If you look, yes, definitely. Of course, you won't be able to answer because you haven't read the text yet. But by reading the questions, you will be looking at the key words, key phrases that you can find related to the text. Let's say if the text is about a story of a person, there will be names in the questions, wouldn't it?
Right.
All right? So read the questions very quickly so you will have a general idea what the text is all about. So normally when you have a general idea of what the text is, you will feel a lot calmer before you read the text. Because like I said just now, the moment pupils see a reading comprehension text, they'll go, oh no. And when actually it's not a really
They panic.
Yes, because they just see words.
Right.
I mean, who likes to see words? We prefer to look at pictures. They're more fun, isn't it? But actually, it's not a terribly, terribly daunting task to do if you apply these techniques. Okay? Read the questions and then skim it through, look at the topic sentence. Only then you read the second time for details like what we are doing now. And let's just check on our pupils.
Yes, they
at home.
look super ready now.
I think so. Are you guys ready to share your understanding of your paragraphs? Yay, nice one.
All
Double
right,
thumbs up.
great.
Thank you. All right, so let's start with the second paragraph. Okay, Hashini.
Do I read the paragraph first? Or?
Oh no, you don't need to. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, I understand that in the second paragraph, they stated that there are many video systems in the world right now. An example they gave was in Paris. They have road cameras. So for example, if there are any problems in the traffic, so people can check on it and they will come and fix it later. And then also, there is also cameras in the streets and parks. So if there's, like I said before, if there's any like suspicious things happening, then they can monitor on that as well, and people will come and check up on that. And in the last sentence, they stated that Britain has more surveillance cameras than anywhere else in Europe. So that is a good fact to know.
Is it a good fact? What do you think? Okay, I want you to hang on to that thought because we're going to be talking about that at the end of the show. Yes, well done, Hashini. You got it right. So on the slide here is a very basic summary of what Hashini has mentioned. Surveillance cameras are everywhere to prevent all kinds of problems. And it's not just for crimes. It's for many, many things. Sometimes maybe you see a person falling down because of a heart attack and it's caught on the surveillance camera, right? So it helps. Okay, let's move on to the second paragraph.
All
Dafi,
right, Dafi.
you ready?
Yes.
Sorry,
Okay,
the third
so,
paragraph. Sorry, the third.
Yeah, all right. So my basic understanding of the third paragraph is that criminal needs to have a evidence to make them feel, guilty. But nowadays, we just can put the sign as video surveillance is in operation, and that alone will threat the criminals off and make the area safer. So you don't need the real evidence to make the crime rate slower. Lower.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Good job. Wonderful. All right. Yes. So if you look at my version of my summary, all right, to detect crimes, record as evidence, and to deter crimes, as what Duffy has mentioned just now. Good job, everybody. Okay.
I love how they're clapping for each other.
Yes.
Very supportive.
They are. They are.
All right.
Okay. Let's move on to the fourth paragraph. Nicholas? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, hello. For the fourth paragraph, they are talking about the use of video surveillance in like the real world, and they're talking about this dude, this guy in France called Jean Francois.
That's okay.
Jean.
18 years old guy, and he was swimming in a pool, public pool. Then he almost drowned. Then the guards couldn't see him. Yeah, the guards couldn't see him drowning in the pool, and he sank slowly and would have died in 4 minutes.
All right. Yes, that's your part of the paragraph. It's about a man swimming in a swimming pool. He had some medical problems, and he would have drowned, all right, because the lifeguards did not notice him sinking. That's the only information he got in paragraph 4, as you can see in the summary on the slide. Good job, Nivila. Yes. All right. We'll talk about how to pronounce his name later in our next class. All right. Last but not least, Alicia, paragraph 5. This is a continuation from paragraph 4. All right. Off you go.
Okay, so my understanding is basically, like he said, a guy, Leroy, was drowning and no lifeguard noticed it. But then there was a surveillance system called Poseidon, which was installed in the pool. And what that does is it basically like alarms the lifeguards if they notice that the swimmers aren't moving as they should. So then when the surveillance system Poseidon did alarm the lifeguard, it saved Leroy's life.
Yes. Within how many seconds? Can you give me that detail? It's in your paragraph?
In just 16 seconds.
Yes, that's right. Nobody saw this poor chap Leroy, Jean Leroy, sinking, but because of the Poseidon system, exactly like what Alicia said just now, it noticed the swimmer not moving properly, because that's the algorithm, or that's the setting that Poseidon has. They will detect the natural movement when you're swimming. So within 60 seconds, this Poseidon was able to detect Leroy probably not moving at all. So it was able to alert the lifeguard, who managed to save his life.
Wow.
All right. Yep, exactly. Amazing, right? Technology.
Yes.
Okay. All right, last but not least, let me help you guys with paragraph 6 and 7. I'm pretty sure they have all read paragraph 6 and 7 also.
I've read it too as well.
Wonderful. Would you like to try? So what's your summary?
Okay, I'll give it a try. Well, from what I understand from this paragraph is that although it helps in combating crime and saving lives, people, maybe the public surveillance is very concerned that cameras are being installed every day. It's a growing thing. So there's more discussions on the disadvantages and advantages of it. But right now, whether we like it or not, we still have public surveillance going around.
That's exactly right. So there's a debate about it. Should we be watching people all the time? What about privacy?
Right.
So these are some of the things that we will talk about later in the last segment. Good job, everyone. But we're not done yet. No. Because you guys are now going to answer the questions. Not many. Just about 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 10 true or false questions, and they have looked at the question just now because they know my style of teaching. Before reading the text, I always tell them to read the questions first, so we don't really need to spend too much time looking at the questions. And in fact, after sharing the understanding of the paragraphs with each other just now, I think they can very, very quickly do these 10 questions to find out which one is true, which one is false, all right? And in fact, as the pupils are trying this out, 10 questions at home, we can elaborate a little bit more on surveillance cameras and how the issue of privacy, because this will give some thoughts to pupils out there at home. Do you feel that you need to have cameras everywhere?
Right.
It helps, yes, because we were talking about it just now, to prevent crimes from happening, even to detect any kind of problems, but where does the line stop? Let's hear your thoughts about that, Shafiqah.
Oh, wow. That's a very complex question, actually. I have a lot of digging for that, actually, teacher. Perhaps we can reveal it in our next segment. But for now, I'm pretty sure we'd like to hear the answers for this question. Is that fine?
Sure.
Pupils, are you ready to get your true and false for this activity?
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're very
10.
quick with their answers in class. Sometimes I don't even have time to finish my question. They already have it. Okay, let's go through it very, very quickly. Number 1, question 1, true or false, guys? Just answer.
False.
False, that's
False.
correct. Okay, any volunteers for number 2? In 1984, the government knows everything. Yes, thank you, Harshini.
True.
In 1984, is that true? Are you sure? Yes, that's correct.
That's scary.
Yes, it is. It's kind of scary in 1984. Okay, what about question 3? Daffy, what's your answer?
True.
True or false?
True. Really. True.
Oh, he's very unsure. True.
True or false? True or false? Nivila, what do you think?
True.
Wait.
I think it's true.
Are you sure it's true for number 3?
Yeah.
Each surveillance camera can watch, yes? Which paragraph did the answer come from?
The first one.
Yes, that's right. Wonderful job. Sometimes I like to do this so that I know that they're reading properly.
Yes, you're convincing as well.
Okay, let's
right.
move on to question 4. This one is so obvious. True or false, everybody?
False.
False, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. True or false? Daffy? Number 5?
True.
Yes, true. What about number 6? Hashini?
False.
Yes, that's false. I mean, the answer is correct. The answer is the correct
It's
answer.
false.
Alicia, number 7. Sorry, number 6. Yes, number 6. Criminals say nothing.
It's true.
Yes, okay. Number 7. British police have used surveillance cameras to find killers. Number 7.
Anyone?
Nivila?
True.
Yes, it's true, definitely. Number 8, the sign of a house about video cameras might not be true. This one is a little bit tricky. What about? What do you
I think it's true.
Yes, it's true. Sometimes they just put the sign so that people
Get scared.
Yeah, they get scared, they run away.
All right, number 9.
Number 9. Last 2, come on. Duffy, number 9.
True.
True. Yes, you were listening to Nivila and Harshini just now telling about or sharing about their the pool Poseidon system. And the last one, last but not least, anybody, hands up, quickly.
The last one I think is false.
The last one you think is false? You are correct because it is false.
Okay, they got everything on the dot despite being teased by you. All right, pupils watching at home, don't go away just yet. We have more to come after this, so stay tuned and we'll be right back here on didiktv KPM.
didiktv KPM